All right, what's going on, everybody? It is day 5 of my big journey here, which I haven't made it that far yet because of weather and mechanical issues. But anyways, I'm still sitting here in Back Creek, which is in Adams Creek, which connects the Neuse River down to Beaufort and Morehead City and all that. Yeah, it's still pretty gusty, so I think getting the anchor up is going to be a chore. That is one thing that's always real difficult when you're solo, is pulling up anchor. You gotta learn how to let the motor run, leave it in gear. Hope the autopilot keeps up when it's moving real slow. But anyways, if I can get the anchor up here, the plan is to go to Morehead City and anchor there overnight, and I might be meeting another buddy boat because my other buddy boat has backed out because he has major mechanical issues. So hopefully I'm going to meet another boat there, and he's going to tag along down to probably Carolina Beach, Wilmington, somewhere in there. But anyways, it's a beautiful day. It's a little cold, a little windy. It's supposed to be windy down on the coast, but that's supposed to ease off tonight, which would be nice. I was planning on anchoring at Sugarloaf Island because of the northwest winds, northwest winds. I was going to anchor behind Sugarloaf out in the Bogue Sound and see how that goes. So hopefully it's not too windy by the time I get down there. Not in a big hurry to leave. It is super nice and warm in the boat with my diesel heater going. The sun's out, but it's still gusty cold, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so just got the anchor up. Man, that was a chore right there. It's gusty, a little bit of current in here, not bad, but it's really gusty. It took me about 25 minutes to get it up. I couldn't let the boat idle in gear. The wind kept blowing it around. It kept wanting to go over the anchor road, so I just had to do it the old-fashioned way, muscle it in until I got to the chain, and then I got to the chain, I just drove over it, yanked the anchor out, pulled the chain in, I was good to go. But that was rough, man. When you're 57 years old, this is no easy task out here. I feel like I'm in pretty good shape, but yeah, that wore me out right there. My back's a little sore already. All right, this is I hate anchoring in places like this because this is just a grim reminder of what can happen out here. Damn near happened to me coming down here with the transducer, top off the transducer and water coming in. But yeah, that's just a grim reminder of how dangerous it is out here. You know, you can see the water's only 4.5, 5 feet deep, so you can damn near see the top of I can still see the rails. But yeah, it's dangerous. Whether you're in the ocean, you're in a river, you're in a lake, it's just dangerous. That was probably an anchor. Battery died, bilge pump stopped, and then it sunk. One of the things I found here in the ICW, my short week-long venture down here, is I get to rubbernecking and looking at scenery and houses, and we got the looks like we got the rescue squad over there, looking at houses, looking at their docks, their boats, get rubbernecking, be way outside the channel, down in like 5 feet of water. So that's the only drawback coming down the ICW. A lot of scenery, but it's very, some of the parts of it, like this is Adams Creek. It's very narrow. The channel's narrow on the charts, but me with a 3.7 draft, I got an advantage there. But yeah, I just find myself rubbernecking a lot and looking at all the pretty houses and boats and nature and birds. But it's really nice just putting by at 4 knots. All right, I made it safely to Morehead City. I'm not gonna lie, that was not a cakewalk like I thought it would be. There's times, you know, now I've only been doing this for 2.5 years. I've always stayed up in the Pamlico River or maybe down in the Neuse River, you know, not venturing far. So, not gonna lie, when I came into the, I came out of Adams Creek and it starts to open up and you start to head in towards Beaufort, North Carolina and Morehead City, North Carolina, the channel splits. So you can go one to Beaufort, one to Morehead City. And I was headed towards Morehead City, and not gonna lie, it was confusing. So more navigation lessons are in order for me, for sure. I passed a buoy, I went, what the hell does that mean? It's got red and green, and it's got some, I don't know what it was. And at one point, during the split, because it's very confusing, because you see the bridge in the train tracks, the train bridge that you're supposed to go through, you see it, but you're not going that way. You're going like 90 degrees the other way for a while. And I'm just tooling along, going, I'm really not in the channel. And I heard somebody come on the radio, and the guy's going, little sailboat with the blue sail cover, you are 200 feet out of the channel, hard to starboard now. And I was like, thank you, I just figured out I was in no man's land. Thankfully, I only have a 3'7" draft, and it was like 40 feet of water, but I believe there was a shoal coming up in front of me. But anyways, little things like that kind of, they set you back right in your place real quick when you start to think you know what's going on with this sailing and boating. You figure out that you really probably don't, you know. 2.5 years of sailing and boating is not a lot. It's not a lot of experience at all. But anyways, I made it through that. Came into the anchorage. I'm anchored at Sugarloaf Island South, and it was one of the toughest times I've had anchoring ever. And it's always difficult solo sailing, unless it's just real calm, you know, no current, no wind. In this case, the wind's supposed to end about 5 o'clock. We're having 20-25 knot gusts. In the current, you know, I got here at the wrong tide, so the current was going the wrong way, and yada yada yada. But yeah, that was a tough anchor for me soloing, because the autopilot's not going to hold. The tiller pilots don't hold at slow speed. I tried to just put it on there and have it hold the tiller straight. It wasn't having it. There's a big steel sailboat over here that took up the spot where I wanted to be in, because I am right around the little warnings that say I lost my anchor there, which I wasn't pleased with. But anyways, I wound up being way close to the channel, which this is an industrial area, an industrial port. So I'm inside the channel, but just barely. I mean, just barely. So that was tough. That was really tough. I just had to, you know, keep a cool head. That's the best thing I can tell anybody who's starting boating. You just gotta keep a cool head. I circled around probably 5 or 6 times and tried to get in the boat in position. Big gust of wind, boat takes off. You know, I'm up on the bow, the boat takes off. I don't know if the guy over there in the steel boat was watching, but he probably got a good kick out of it, if he did, if he was. But yeah, that was tough, and I finally got it. I you know, just thinking through it every time. What do I do different? What do I do differently? And the last time I just drove it way up by shore, because I'm right by a little island, but it's really deep all the way going up. So I drove it in there, drove her home. And then when I got up there, I just left it running in forward, had the tiller locked down in the center, and just went up there and started feeding anchor out. And sure enough, it just, you know, the wind and the current caught it, started pulling it away from the island, and I started feeding the rode out, and the anchor set in. I'm not worried about swinging back that way, because the winds are going to be northwest for the next couple days in the current, so it should keep pushing me out into the sound. But this is very open. We'll see how it goes. I've never anchored in anything but mud. I don't know if this is mud or sand. I'm guessing it's sand. But what an experience, and I feel good to achieve a goal, because I wanted to get down here since I've been here, and I've just never done it, or I chickened out, or blah blah blah. But I finally achieved a goal in my boating, my sailing. I didn't get to sail today, but I'm still going to call it achieving a sailing goal. And I got down to the blue water on the Crystal Coast of North Carolina, and it feels good. I had a leftover quesadilla, had half a beer to celebrate, and I'm just absolutely stoked I got that done. But it was harder than what I thought it was going to be, so I'm glad I did it in the short 4-hour day. All right, let's go take a look around to see where I'm at. Down here in Morehead City. There's the, whatever they call it, the port terminal. Really nice down here. I love it that dolphins came up to the boat when I was coming in.